Welcome to another episode of Trucker Talk. I hope everybody is having a beautiful day. Hope everybody had a good Christmas. And guess what? We're getting ready for the new year. I love it. But anyways, safety tip for the day. Protect your back like you protect your peace. Live right, drive safe, and don't let shortcuts cost you long-term pain. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this. 2025 wasn't about money, wins, or losses. It was about mental survival. So, mental health, self awareness, and growth. This episode is for anyone who felt tired but kept going, smiled in public but battled privately, questioned their worth, purpose, or peace. Okay, in 2025, the mental battles that nobody saw. So, silent depression. Me speaking from my own point of view, sometimes I think going into 2025, it was different for me because leaving 2024, there was some depression that I had that I carried with me into 2025. So as as I said in the earlier this year, forgiveness was one of those because and people think, oh, forgiveness doesn't cause depression, but it really do because I held so much resentment and anger and all that, and that causes depression. I'm just speaking from experience. So, like I said, I woke up in 2025 and I'm sitting here like, man, I have it all. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. But I had that resentment. I'm sitting here like, how am I upset with an individual, but I have all of this? It doesn't make sense. People don't talk about that because it's to me it's real. It's real. So I had to dig deep. I had to practice different methods to learn how to forgive. And so going into this year and as some of the situations and stuff that I was in, I'm just grateful that I learned those healthy methods. I thank my therapist for that. So yes, that was a solid depression battle for me. It was solid. Some of my close friends, when I got quiet, they knew I was battling something, but that was one of those things. So another thing, burnout from providing. I think some individuals, fathers and mothers, I'm not just gonna say speak from a man's point of view, but they get burnt out from providing. But I mean, it's one of those things where job, worldly, well, your daily routine and a daily, just like going to work. Kid has practice. If your kid has a recital or band practice or basketball practice, all those things, of course, you can get burnt out as a parent, but it's part of life. But it's still, you can still get burnt out. So I think, and like me, when I see people, I approach people differently because you never know what an individual is going through. So me, I'm more gentle with people. If somebody's snappy, I'm thinking they got some stuff going on. So I step back. I'm like, let me just step back. So, but yeah, being strong for everybody else while feeling empty. Have any of y'all ever experienced that? I have. And I have this conversations with my a couple of my friends, and I say, people don't understand. Like, I don't just give off a persona. I mean, what you see with me is what you get. And I have individuals. I have a lot of people that they value my opinion. They and so for me, I'm strong, and I have to be strong, regardless of if I'm tired, if I get that phone call and I ain't ready to pick the phone up, me, it's like I'm like this. I'm Johnny on the spot when it comes to certain individuals. I'm either gonna give them an answer or I'm gonna try to find the right answer for them to get back to them. But sometimes, you gotta be strong. So being strong for everybody while still feeling empty. I've done that, and what I've learned is at the end of the day, after I give out my energy and stuff, I have to recharge. So once I recharge and I regroup, then I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm ready. I'm ready for the next round. So I learned that. It took me years to learn that, but I'm grateful for that. So another thing, loneliness, even when surrounded by people. I remember it's been some years. Well, I'm not gonna say it's been some years ago, but I'm gonna say I had an experience this year. I was with some individuals, and don't granted, it was for it was an occasion, not a wedding or nothing like that, but like an occasion or something. So I was at the event or whatever, and I'm in the room, but I'm looking around and I'm analyzing, and I'm thinking to myself, and my thoughts in my head are moving. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I'm out of place, But I mean, that's what my personal assessment. I put that on myself. So sometimes I can get in my head when I get to thinking too much. So then I get the loan. I was just like, man, like I'm by myself. This is a good occasion, but this is different. So then you like, you feel out of place, and that loneliness feeling kicks in, and I've experienced that. But I've experienced that this year, but I've experienced it years ago, like during the holiday season. And I ain't gonna lie, like I never about five, no, about 6 years ago, I haven't really gotten to the holiday season. And, you know, some people some people go all out, some people do all this stuff, but my perspective now on the holidays completely different from the way I used to go into it. So I make it about the kids, and I do more reaching out to people. And I go see people, visit people, stuff like that. That kind of, brings my spirits up versus you got some people, they get stressed because you got all these family members, you trying to go to all these houses, you trying to eat, you trying to do all these different things. And it's like, look, you ain't got to do all that. That's what you choose to do. You put yourself in that position, spend time with whoever you're with, spend time with your loved ones. Don't, you can do all that, save that different other time for other times. But sometimes we think this is just my point of view on it, my point of view on it. So don't get sassy. My point of view on it, just spend time with your individuals. If it's 3, 4, 5, 6, y'all spend time with them because by the time you run around 4, 5, 6 hours later, you're tired, you exhausted, and you got to go to work the next day. So you didn't got this day off just to do all this running, just to be tired when you get up in the work in the morning. That's just my opinion on it. So fighting your own thoughts late at night, that's something I'm not even gonna say I've been dealing with that lately because I work nights. And the beautiful thing about working nights, I never I never knew working nights would be so beautiful. But I have clarity in my mind. I don't have no right now. I don't have no drama. I ain't got no I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I ain't in no bad relationship, situationship, marriage, whatever you want to call it, partnership, none of that. So I'm growing, I'm healing, and I am learning a lot of lessons, especially when it comes to this dating world. So people ask me all the time, why are you single? Why are you single? Why are you single? You don't want to be with nobody. I'm like, look, man, this world is different. I come home, my own house. peace of mind, keep my house clean, my bills are paid, my truck's running good, keep my maintenance up on my truck, make sure my mama good, I make sure my son good, my sister, my babies, and whoever else, I need to, look after or even help out or just, be there for. So that is peace to me. People, they get in relationships and situationships because they're lonely. They need somebody to back them financially. I'm blessed and grateful that I've not been in that position. And I don't see myself just dating somebody because I want somebody to post on Facebook, take selfies with. Oh, look, we got matching pajamas. I ain't doing all that stuff, man. If I want matching pajamas, trust me, I can get some matching pajamas. I'm just saying, it ain't being cocky. I'm just saying, if I wanted some matching pajamas, I can find somebody to take a picture that match pajamas with. And that's not being cocky. That's just being confident. It's a big difference. So just because I didn't quit doesn't mean I wasn't tired. That's a strong statement. I tell people, man, I just when you quit, like I just don't. Sometimes, I get to a point where I'm overwhelmed, but I think about my whys. Why am I doing this? Why do I get up every morning? What fuels me to do the things that I do in life? Who's looking up to me? Um, what's my purpose at the end? What is my end goal at the end of the day? I ask myself these questions, and don't get me wrong, 2025, I got slapped about one, two, three, four, about four times in 2025. I'm not going to go into the details, but let's just say your boy got slapped. I got into situations I shouldn't have got into. Got my feelings hurt. I learned from it, but I bet you I won't do that again. So, hard learned lessons, but I'm not going to do that again. So, life and responsibilities. So, let's talk about, or let me say this again, life pressure and responsibilities. So, a truck driver, I'm a truck driver, I'm a father. I was a business owner until early of January of this year. I decided that I just wasn't going to go with the pressure washer stuff. And it's funny, life is so funny because we can make all these plans. We can, and let me tell y'all, going into 2025, I had the whole podcast. I said, I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to be pressure washing. I'm going to do it all. That's what I said, right? So, January hit. Keep in mind, I'm still recovering from hernia surgery. I had hernia surgery back in December. So I'm still recovering. So I got all of this. So I'm getting those, the bills in the mail. Keep in mind, and I'm gonna say this for the record. Keep in mind, I had not got a paycheck since the beginning of December. Because, well, the middle of December, because when I went out for my surgery, I got my last paycheck. I wasn't getting short-term or no, I got a did I get it? I got like a little check for short-term disability. It was like $300. So, keep in mind, I have a mortgage and I have other responsibilities. I have people, I put myself in a position where, I'm doing things for other people. So, and that's just what I decided to do. So I have a mortgage and I got those things going on. So going into 2025, I ain't got no money. I done ran up a credit card for about $10,000 because I didn't have no money. So Yeah, I got them bills in, and I'm sitting here like, man, what am I gonna do? So I'm processing. Then I thought about the whole pressure washing stuff, and I was like, so money wise and all that, I was just like, you know what? I just don't think that I'm gonna end up doing it this year. So I had to step back from that. So I stepped back from that, sold my equipment in April. So I'm gonna tell you, here's where God has a funny sense of humor. I love your sense of humor, God. It's so funny. So I sold all my equipment in April 2025, right? Cash, I sold it. Everything was good. Everything was gravy. I just put my vacation days on the board. I'm not going to say the job, but the job that I was working at. I just put my vacation days on the board. So I'm like, man, I'm about to travel. I'm about to chill. I'm about to take me a break because I've been, doing the pressure washing for the past 2 years. And I'm like, I'm done with that on the weekend. So May the 20th, May the 20th, my company that I was working for decided to close the doors in Knoxville. Man, you talk about, and I'm being honest for the record because I'm speaking on this. It hurt me. It hurt me, but I didn't realize how bad it hurt me until after I was with O'Reilly Auto Parts for 3 months. Then I started grieving the loss of a job. I was upset. I had these mood swings, and I'm thinking to myself, "What's wrong with me? Like I have a job, but they let me go. Well, they closed the doors. Let me say that politically correct. So yeah, I was upset. I was hurt. I was lost for a little minute because I'm just like, I prayed. And don't get me wrong, I was positive, but it still hurt me because at 40 years old, I've never in my life been laid off from anywhere. So I had to do some deep soul searching. I never forget. I was so bothered by it. One of my next sessions, my therapist, and I've never, well, one of my sessions with my therapist, I was in there crying. I'm man enough to admit it because I'm a man, and I know he was he was looking at me like he had he had a serious look on his face. He just looking at me. I'm just like, so I'm like, man, like he just looking at me. I'm just like, man, I'm hurt. He's like, what you hurt for? Like he didn't like disregard it, but he's like, but the perspective he gave me, he said, look, he said, you are a man that you own your stuff, you own your game, you take care of your business, you do this X, Y, Z, and that was out of your control. That was not in your control. You couldn't even stop that from happening. But as far as everything else, like doing what you do, you're good at that. You do that. So I could understand, but he said that was not your responsibility that you lost your job. Like, you pay your bills, you keep the maintenance up on all the stuff. That's your responsibility. That's what you do. But you losing your job that's not your responsibility. So you can't. What he said, what you need to do is you need to process it, but process it, take out that part where it's out of your control. So process it, grieve it, and then just let it go. He's like, that was out of your control. So I was like, I like that. So it took me a month or so, but I got a little better. But it was me, just I was hurt, and so that was my first time really expressing like I was how hurt I was because I was hurt. So because listen, a man is expected to hold it together. I mean, I talk amongst some of my other guy friends that are that can give me good positive well, it ain't not positive, but give me feedback, but they give me honest feedback. I don't want to say positive because they tell me how it is. So I respect that from certain individuals. There's certain individuals that I call. certain individuals that I text. I respect their opinions. So financial pressure, being emotional unavailable because survival mode was on. I've been in situations like that, or not saying I've been in situations, but when it comes to like financial pressure and all that, and being emotionally unavailable because you're focused on one thing, you're focused on what you need to get done. And some people, whether it be a partner or a spouse or a loved one, they can take that as like rejection, but you're just doing what you need to do. So, it happens sometimes, but you have to be open and explain it to that person. Just be open about it. So, choosing rest over chaos. Done that a lot this year. Learning that peace is more valuable than being liked. Beautiful. So, one of the things this year, relationships, detachment, and letting go. Um, you outgrowing people is one of the things you're gonna do. Losing connections that no longer align. Choosing peace over explaining yourself. Here's one. Realizing love shouldn't cost your sanity. There's a lot of you all, you haven't learned that yet, but I pray and I hope one day you learn it. Don't, if it costs you your sanity, if it costs you your peace, it's too expensive. Let it go. Let it go. It's not worth it. That's trauma. I can go down the list. But some people weren't bad. They just couldn't go where I was headed. So everybody can't go. Everybody can't go. So sometimes you gotta leave some people behind. That's that's for a better version of yourself, you know? So coping, healing, and what actually helped. Coping, healing, and what actually helped. So things that helped me was prayer, solitude, gym, fitness and move or physical movement, not fitness, but gym, physical movement, journaling, quiet drives, saying no. You have to say no. Some of y'all don't want to say no, but you got to say no. It's important. Cutting distractions, staying sober, clear minded. That's one of the things I can say for the record this year. I've stayed sober because, like I said, when my daddy had passed away, I was battling those things. 2023 was whew, that year was it was a blur because, like I said, I can say for the record, um, I was battling some things. I was going through it, and it was tough. I went to alcohol. I'm not ashamed of it. I was drinking every day. I was, doing my thing. It wasn't healthy. It got me through, but it wasn't healthy. So that is one thing for the record I can say. I'm just not. I ain't with it now. I meditate. I stay to myself. I reach out to certain individuals, and I just keep it there. So yeah, um, healing didn't make me softer. It made me clearer. Say that again. Healing didn't make me softer. It made me clearer. So I had to go through something. I came out on the other end a better me, a better version of myself. And I'm still working on myself every day because world, as we know, is tough. It's tough. So lessons 2025 taught me. Rest is productive. Peace is a flex. Discipline beats motivation. Healing is lonely, but it's necessary. You don't owe access to everyone. You don't. You don't have to give everybody access to you. Recharge, get you some rest. So I want to encourage men to check on themselves. Check on your friends, your married friends, your single friends, your friends that still 40, 50 doing 20-year-old stuff. Check on them. Check on your friends. It's needed. Whether your friends tell you or not, trust me, they appreciate it. Normalize asking for help. That was one thing I struggled with. Like me being the middle child, it's six of us. Six. I got two older brothers, I got two younger brothers, and she ain't a baby sister, but my sister. So it's five boys and one girl. So technically I'm the middle of the boys. I really never asked for help. I had positive, I had good friends that I could go to that, I mean, they was homeowners, so they knew a lot about homeowner stuff. So they taught me a lot. So I went to them, but I hardly ever asked for help. But now I'm gonna tell you what I do for help. Conversation for me that I don't need to drink, I don't need to smoke, I don't need to go out to no bars, no clubs. I call conversation. I value conversation. I value conversation over any other thing. Well, God, not you, God, but I'm saying I value conversation. Conversation, just like when I pray and I meditate, that's my conversation with God. So I value conversation. Conversation is very important. If anything, if you want to do anything, let's have a conversation. I get more out of the conversation than anything else. Let's have an open, vulnerable conversation. Because at the end of the day, I enjoy that more than anything. Sounds silly. I'm just at that point. I don't sit and drink and smoke. And I don't need to do all that stuff. That's just it clouds your judgment. So I don't need all that. So, and I'm gonna let you all know you're not weak. Just because you feel tired, it doesn't mean you're weak. So this year, I'm gonna just give you all a reminder for this year. So you survived this year, and that's all that matters. You survived this year, that's all that matters. So 2025, it didn't break me. It introduced me into a stronger version. Let me say this again. 2025 didn't break me. It introduced me to a stronger, quieter version of myself. I'm gonna say it again, mate. I'm gonna say it right this time. 2025 didn't break me. It introduced me to a stronger, quieter version of myself. I'm grateful. I mean, I woke up this morning. I'm in good health. My family's good. My son's good. My mama's good. My baby's good. You know, I have a beautiful neighborhood. I have a beautiful house. I have a beautiful vehicle. Might be 16 years old, but it's still, or it's about to be 16 years old, but it's still a beautiful vehicle. It runs. It's paid for. I'm blessed. Um, I got heat on. I had the air on 2 days. Tennessee, y'all killed me with this weather, but I had the air on yesterday. Now I got the heat on today. It was it was warm on Christmas. It was like summertime. I get up this morning, go to the gym at 5, and it's raining and it's cold. And you heard it in my voice. It's like I think I said my allergies, my sinuses be messing with me. Hey, Tennessee will blame it on you all, man. So, but yeah, but I want to wish everybody a happy new year. I wish everybody nothing but the best. And as far as trucker talk, we're gonna come up with some different things. I'm about to do some more research on some things and just get more a little bit more creative. So any suggestions or anything, just let me know. I know I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm imperfectly imperfect. Can I say that? That's what my boy LJ would say. I am perfectly. He was. I don't know if he'll say that, but I'm just saying that. But I'm gonna say, can I say that? Because I'm perfectly imperfect. Perfectly imperfect. I like that. Can I say that? But yeah. So I hope all y'all have a blessed end of this year and a happy new year. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for your time.
It's the drip from Strozar.